On Instacart, I can shop a huge selection of pet supplies, from that one brush that scratches him just right, to that extra comfy bed he can't wait to flop down in. And I get everything delivered right to my door in as fast as 1 hour. Okay, settle down. I know it's here. Yes, very exciting. Visit instacart.com or download the app to get a free delivery on your first 3 orders. Offer valid for a limited time. Minimum order $10. Additional terms apply. Instacart. Add life to cart.
Why is Instacart the holiday rescue app? Because you can get all your seasonal decor delivered instead of having to drive to 12 different stores. Candles and candy canes? Delivered. Wreaths and reindeer? Delivered. Lights from Lowe's? Delivered. And since I know you're going to ask, inflatable snowman? Delivered. So this season, stay in and get decked out. Download Instacart, the holiday rescue app, to get free delivery on your first 3 orders. Offer valid for a limited time, $10 minimum per order, additional terms apply.
Hey everybody, this is Matt with Deep Woods Paranormal, and my beautiful wife Amanda is also with us.
Good evening, everybody.
So, the reason the podcast was a little delayed was because we were going to go check out Slender Man, and unfortunately decided to just open up and gale on us. So it wasn't safe to go down into the area where we were going to go look. So we had to give it a couple of days to actually dry out a little bit so we could go down there, and we were hoping to find maybe some footprints or something, some kind of sign of this Slender Man creature, right? So both Amanda and I have never experienced a Slender Man. That was also the other part of the reason why we wanted to go do our research first before we came on here and did a podcast about it. We did a lot of research online. There's a lot of stuff saying blah, 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 blah.
Well, it was created online anyway.
Yeah. It was created for basically either a comic book or some kind of show. And then essentially those 2 girls basically used it to try and murder that one girl. And then unfortunately it became Beware of Slender Man movie. And so anyways. But I think Amanda and I share pretty much the same thoughts on Slender Man. And I'm going to go ahead and let her start on her theory of what Slender Man is or isn't.
Okay, well, I definitely read up on the internet about Slender Man. I even asked my 12-year-old niece. It seems to be popular in her age group, where she was telling me about it, that this slender-looking creature would be in the woods, and he's supposedly supposed to take the lives of children. That's her story anyway. I did look it up online, and that is basically the story. But it's far-fetched for me. I mean, it's like a scary movie, and who doesn't want a scary movie to be real? But I just didn't believe it. So we went out to the forest, into a location that's said to have Slender Man. We investigated that. It was me and Matt and 2 other members of our team. And we walk into the forest, and first of all, it's really late. We investigated, like, it's dark. So it's pitch black. We have our cameras, and we have our headlamps. Walking into this forest, and you just imagine that you're walking in a mudded path next to the Colorado River. So the river is to our left, and you hear thousands of bugs. And we're looking for Slender Man. We're trying to find any kind of like footprints or just something in the woods in which he's said to be. And first of all, the 2 other members of our team are hunters. They hunt, and they're used to the forest. I am not. I've been Bigfoot hunting, but I am not. Let's just say that I'm still a city girl. Anyway, so there's trees and big spiders. So I made Matt go first so that he could walk through the spider webs. But I was recording on the camera, so I wasn't really watching where I was walking. There was down trees everywhere. Of course, we're looking for snakes so we don't get bit by snakes. We did set up a trail cam at the beginning of the trail. And what was really cool, at the very beginning, we heard these loud crashes in the brush. Like, it was so loud, and the brush was like over 6 feet tall. And I'm like, something's moving through the brush. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to see a Bigfoot. I was like, this is it. This is my time to actually witness a Bigfoot. And out comes crashing through the brush like a 5-point buck deer. It was huge.
Yeah, it's probably about a 10 buck.
And it jumped the road, like the entrance of the road, it jumped it in one leap. Like, that's what, 8 feet
No,
wide?
probably more like 10 or 12 feet.
Yeah, it jumped it in one leap and then disappeared into the woods.
Yeah.
It was the craziest thing. I wish I had the camera on then, but we were just setting up, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. So, anyways, that was really cool at the beginning, and we walked probably an hour into the forest, surrounded by huge trees, with the Colorado River on the left. We definitely heard coyotes. We heard some horned owls. At one point, there was something going through the brush, but I didn't see Slender Man. I didn't see anything. I didn't feel any kind of supernatural being in the area. Like, there was no heaviness to the area. There's
no presence.
No presence there. I did find out, though, that I have kind of a superpower, which is really strange. So we were with 3 different people, and I've always been able to see the spiders in the woods. Like, I can see the shining of their eyes. So I just thought that everybody could see the shining of the eyes of the millions of spiders that are in the ground of the woods. So when I look down, I see almost like, a lot of people may believe in fairies and some people don't, but there is a saying that fairies like sparkle, or even like the fireflies that you see. I see spiders' eyes like that, and it sparkles on the ground. So there was like 1 million spiders out, because the Colorado River had just overflowed too. So we're walking in mud. So we were also looking for footprints, which I didn't find any.
I think we actually did find what looked to be a few prints. We turned the flashlight on it. We turned the camera on it. So we'll have to review that footage.
Yeah.
There looked like there was a heel print, and there was one looked like there was 5 toes. But I mean, that could have been a human for all we know.
Right.
But it wasn't in a weird. It was off the trail. It was out in the brush just a little bit where the scruff was, and essentially we kind of looked at it, and there was one, and then another one like right in front of it, which Bigfoots do. So, not to interrupt Amanda, but I want to kind of give my take on this too.
Right.
So I also did a lot of research, separate from Amanda, and I wanted to see what Slender Man was, and so essentially I went through and I started watching some TikTok videos of people posting stuff on it. The things that I found were, some of it was CGI'd, some of it was just fake kids in costumes just playing around probably to get some attention, and then there was a couple really good videos in the forested areas. And the 2 that I saw, I can't give credit to the TikTok person, I'm sorry. If I do find out who that was in the future, I will post whose videos they were. They're Bigfoots. They were both Bigfoots. Big black thing, covered in hair, kind of off in the distance. Somebody just misunderstood possibly what it was. And I started reading through the comments, and there was hundreds of comments. And everybody had seen the same thing. You know, everybody posted a good job on catching a Bigfoot and all this other stuff. So I really think that Slender Man could be a misidentified Bigfoot, especially from far away. It looks black or brownish sometimes, and essentially I think that with the big fat heads that they have, I think people are misconstruing them as maybe a Slender Man type creature. As we walked last night, and this is an ongoing investigation, we will be going back to this location mainly during the day and doing a location scout more during the day.
Right, because we really couldn't see very much in the dark. I mean, it was pitch black.
We walked for probably an hour in and then an hour back out, but we were going super slow because we were scanning the ground, we were scanning the forest, we had the thermal imager with us, and we were scanning with that. At one point, I did see something. I was standing there, and in between the clearing, all of a sudden there was something standing there in the clearing between two trees off about 20 or 30 feet away. I did have a GoPro on with a flashlight on underneath it. I don't know if that light penetrated darkness, but I also had the light on the thermal as well.
We haven't had time to review that video.
Yeah, so we just got back, 1 o'clock in the morning last night. We didn't stay very late.
Yeah.
But
we had a long drive.
Yeah, we had an hour and a half, 2 hour drive home too. So, and we had things we had to do this morning. So, I think you'll probably see that show pop up in a couple, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
For possibly looking for Slender Man. Now, just because we didn't see Slender Man, and I think that what I probably saw looked like a Bigfoot. It was only about maybe 6-7 feet tall. It was about my builds. I'm about 6'2", and I'm about 300 pounds. And I'm a pretty good sized guy. I'm not super heavy, but I'm a pretty good sized guy. And that's about what I saw over there. Now, could Slender Man be playing games with me and maybe trying to look like a Bigfoot instead of what I thought instead of a Slender Man? Maybe.
Yeah, but here's the thing: is where you were, and then where you saw whatever it was. That's like dense bush. I mean, it's not like there was a walkway there.
There was a trail there. There was a trail straight out through those trees. And
No,
the brush was
like
actually cleared where it was. There was high brush, and there was a tree and a tree, and the trees kind of came down at a slope, kind of like a Christmas tree-like. And then there was a clearing in the middle of there. I was standing there, I was looking out there with the thermal, just looking at the thermal, scanning across from left to right. And then essentially, I caught something in the light, and I went, whoa, what's that? So I turned to look back at you guys, because I didn't see anything on thermal. And essentially, by the time I turned back around, like a second later, it was gone. So I don't know what I saw, but it looked like a person, but there was no people there. So again, it's just a personal experience. I'm going to review you'll see if we did catch something, it will be in the show. Don't want to get too much into that yet because we don't know what we got or what we didn't get. If anything. But like I said,
the other thing is that area is also known for UFOs, and we did see in a different clearing some very interesting lights in the sky. So I'm gonna go back there for that as well.
Yeah, when I looked up, I didn't know what Dawanessa, excuse me, I just butchered her name. I apologize if you're listening to this, but I didn't see what she saw at first. And then her friend mentioned, hey, look over there. And so I saw this like red light, and I'm like, okay, it's just a satellite. And then when I started looking at it again, it did start. She said, oh, well, but it's moving around in a real way. It's not just going straight across the sky. It's moving. And so when we started watching this thing, it was strange because it went up, and then there was another one. And then another one appeared, and another one appeared, and they appeared in a U-shape. I think there was 4 or 5 of them. And I don't know, we tried to use the camera to capture it, but I don't think we were able to. We were under the impression that last night it was supposed to be super cloudy out. We're going to be able to see any stars, which unfortunately we were. So, like I said, when we go back,
it's interesting the whole trip in general, because we got one. There's a whole bunch of trees that are snapped over in like places that could be Bigfoot. 2, we have the UFO sighting. 3, there wasn't like Slender Man, but it's still a possibility since so many people have said in that location that they've seen something. And 4, when we were leaving, something happened in the river.
Yeah.
So something very large went into the river.
I've actually heard that before. I've been in when I went to Black Star Canyon. You can listen back to my Black Star Canyon podcast, or go back and go onto our YouTube channel and go into some of our Black Star Canyon stuff. that's famous for, I found Bigfoots up there at least. I had rocks the size of like watermelons flying over my head.
It would have to have been a big rock.
It was huge.
I thought maybe it was a deer, but we ran around, like we weren't very far from the entrance of the river by the time that happened, and we ran around the corner and we saw nothing.
Well, we scanned the river with the thermal too.
Yeah.
There was no hot spots on the river. It was cold. The whole.
So maybe it was a rock, and then someone
threw
it or something threw it.
It sounded like a rock. It was just a poop. Like when you throw something large, like in a pool. And
it didn't sound like, because someone, one of the ladies that were with us said maybe what's that, like crocodiles or.
Well, she said there's a possibility of crocodiles being in the area.
Is that the right one?
Crocodile or alligator?
Is it alligators that are out here?
One of the two. We don't. Yeah.
I don't know the difference.
We'll do some research on that too before we go back for sure.
But I've seen like that crocodile hunter, not the crocodile hunter, but the guys that catch the alligators and skin them. What is that? It didn't sound like because they kind of slide. And
it sounded to me like something
like
just
plop.
Yeah, like something just blopped into the river. It was like something like just splashed right in.
There was no ripples in the river at all. It was like
and the river wasn't moving. It was weird. It was like totally full.
And it had no ripples at all, which was so weird because like literally from the time that we heard that noise to the time that we went around the bend, it wasn't even a minute. I mean, it was like 30 seconds.
Right. And that wasn't
been some ripples.
Right. And that wasn't the only thing. I went around that corner where it was all muddy and nobody else wanted to go to. I went walking around that corner.
Because it was slippery.
Right. It was slippery and muddy, and I saw something. I saw something move from left to right. And as it did, it growled at me. So, again, I can't say that was Slender Man. That totally reminds me of like a Bigfoot type thing. Another thing Bigfoots do as well is they mimic other animals. And I've heard it.
That owl.
I've heard it. Yeah, there was two owls hooting at each other.
Back and forth.
And before that, it was coyotes going back and forth.
Yeah, there was like chittering. I don't know what chitters.
Yeah.
Maybe mountain lions chitter.
Could be. We'll have to do more research. We have it on video, so we'll listen back to it and see. Maybe we'll take it to a wildlife expert and see if they can just analyze it. I know the girls that were with us, like I said, they're hunters. They know what's out in these forests, and it was nice. It was actually comforting to have them with us because they can say, "Nope, that's this. Nope, that's that," or "I've heard that before," or "I haven't heard that before." And they've been probably hunting for a long time. They're probably about our age. So they've been out in the forest. Another girl was saying she goes out researching Bigfoots a lot too. She goes
fearless. They weren't even afraid of the spiders.
No. So they're used to being out in the woods. And
I screamed a couple times like a girl. It was big spiders.
A couple times, yeah. Well,
you know what? More than a couple times. Yeah. Okay, but there were big bugs the size of
there was stuff flying all over the place. Thank God I was wearing glasses. I think one smashed off my lens. It was a big beetle. One of those big flying beetles hit me right square in the face, right in the eye. I was like, oh, okay, thank God I had my glasses on. Otherwise, that would have probably taken my eye out. But yeah,
they were big bugs.
Yeah. And I gotta give kudos to Amanda. She was very brave last night. She went into a forest, and she does not like spiders. She is totally anti-spider. Yeah, and so there were spiders everywhere. Just everywhere you looked, they were in the trees,
and they were. If you looked in the ground, there was thousands of spiders.
Yeah.
And
bunch of wolf spiders.
Me. And I was like, look, there's a spider right there. And they had to put their flashlight on it and get really close because they blend in, they camouflage. And I was like, there's a spider right there. And then they went down and there was a spider. So
yeah. And she felt down with her hand, and she wrestled her hand around a little bit, and it took off. But I could see him too. I could see him too. We were talking about that on the way home.
Anyway, it's just a weird.
Is it our glasses that? Is it our glasses? The particular kind of film that we have on our glasses, or what?
That's what I think. Maybe.
I think it has. We're seeing more of the ultraviolet light than they were, because humans used to have the ability to see ultraviolet. And if you spent time away in the darkness for a long period of time, you could probably see ultraviolet. I believe Bigfoots could. This is all theory.
It's a really big possibility that could be a Bigfoot area as well, and that's why people keep saying that they're seeing Slender Man. There were so many deer. I mean, not just the 5-point buck that we saw in the beginning. When we left, there were so many deer because it was like midnight,
No, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, I thought we got here at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
Whatever.
we got home at
really
like 1.
late.
We got home almost 2.
It was really late, and there were so many deer in the grass along the river, like 50 of them.
Yeah, there was, yeah.
It was almost like a deer park. Like if you've
Yeah.
ever been to a deer park in Louisiana and New York, they have like those deer parks.
Right. They were big too. They were big deer.
That was crazy.
They were
I've
big.
never seen so many.
They didn't seem to be
in such a
afraid
small
of. Yeah, they didn't seem to be
area.
afraid of humans or anything like that.
Yeah.
That one kept walking next to the car. I'm like, no, you go that way.
We were
I do
going
not
really
want you
slow.
messing up my beautiful new little car, So,
Anyways,
Yeah.
our point is that our investigation is still ongoing, and I don't know if we think that we're actually ever going to see Slender Man, but we're still investigating that area.
right.
And our video is going to come out soon once we complete the investigation.
Yeah, we definitely, we went out there to just check and see if it was even true. When you look up reports online, a lot of the time it's just like, okay, you get there and it's like, no, this isn't, there's nothing here. But this one seemed to have maybe some, reality to it, I think. Not Slender Man, but it said crypto. On the stuff that I read, it said crypto. It said crypto, UFOs, and Slender Man.
Well, I could see.
So I can see a
there being
Bigfoot. Oh yeah.
There. I mean,
Yeah.
there's food, there's water, and there's shelter.
Right. So.
And it's far enough away from a lot of people, so.
Yep. Yeah, and they're just in those pines. I mean, they probably have moved in that area. It was almost like a pupping ground, maybe a pupping ground, or maybe juveniles are down in that area.
A pupping ground.
Pupping ground just means that they leave
New
the
word that I've
mothers
never
take their
heard.
babies in that area because it's
Okay.
protected. The area where we're in, you couldn't see across the river because I looked at the maps. There's nothing there. It's just open forest for
You mean a breeding
miles
ground.
and miles and miles.
Pupping ground. You're talking about a
Well,
breeding
pupping ground just means that
I get what it
they
means.
drop
I'm just
their
saying.
they leave their little ones there,
Okay.
and then they go out and hunt and they come back. Like it's kind of like
This is a new
sharks.
theory to me. All right.
Okay, well, same thing. It's just basically an area where the
I get
juveniles, they can leave the juveniles, go do their hunting, and come back and basically feel safe that their little ones are not going to be, harmed or get into any trouble. Because it seems very...
A wooded area where they leave their kids, like a babysitting area.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I get it. That's interesting. I've never heard you say that before.
Well, I heard it on one of the
On
shows I
another
watched.
show?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to name the show because I don't want to have to pay royalties, but
Yeah, I get it.
yeah, definitely. So
It's an interesting theory. I like it.
yeah, so basically, I think there might be a bunch of juveniles in that area, and I think that maybe that's just an area. It's a really good area for them. I mean, there's tons of deer. There's water, like you were saying. There's places to hide. I mean, it looked like the places we did see the trees bent over. It looked like they were trying to build some kind of structure or blind.
Right.
And so, again, I just really think that area is more
Bigfoot oriented.
Now, that's not to say that Slender Man isn't there. Unfortunately, we couldn't go the other way because it was so muddy and so
Yeah, 'cause the
we would
banks
have
overflowed.
had to have.
But the other thing is I didn't see anything because the last thing that they said was in the woods was witches.
Right. So the
There's
witches
reported supposedly witches that go into those woods. I didn't see anything. Like usually there's symbols and.
yeah.
things
Supposedly
hanging
there's
on the
buildings.
trees, but I didn't see anything.
Yeah. Supposedly there's buildings down the way.
Maybe it was further because we only went an hour.
Well, we
That's something to
reached.
explore next time as well.
Yeah, we reached an area where there was a campground on the other side of where we were, and we didn't want to go any further.
Were
So-
there people?
There was campgrounds down the way. about a quarter mile down the way. We had walked the whole trail. So there's a trail that goes the other way as well.
I didn't notice that.
Back towards kind of where we came. And that's where there supposedly is some abandoned structures and stuff like that. So anyways, guys, again, our research into this location will continue. We're going to do some UFO research there. We're going to do some Bigfoot research there. And we're going to continue to look into Slender Man. We're not saying it's not true. We're just saying we didn't experience it. And we didn't have any kind of signs that said, Slender Man's here.
Right.
But I do think that we felt like we experienced maybe some Bigfoot activity and stuff like that. So
something was going on.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for listening. We really appreciate it. You have a good night. And
till next time.
We'll catch you the next time. Please also go to our YouTube channel. It's Deep Woods Paranormal Texas. And we have really cool shows going up there almost every week, every couple weeks. This show will be posted, like I said, in a couple weeks. So thank you.
Like and subscribe, please.
Yes, please like and subscribe to our videos. Yeah, our content is constantly getting better and better because people are helping us out and subscribing and stuff. So, again, please give us a thumbs up, and we appreciate it. You have a great night.
Goodbye, everyone.
Don't get your tinsel in a tangle. Plato's Closet in North Charleston and West Ashley can help make your holiday easier with cash for clothes. Sell us your gently used trendy styles to earn cash on the spot. We need your denim, dressy clothes, sweaters, boots, and more. Plato's Closet buys and sells sustainable styles. Earn cash to make holiday spending less stressful. Don't get your tinsel in a tangle this year. Simply get cash for your cool clothes at Plato's Closet. Plato's Closet, located in West Ashley on Sam Rittenberg Boulevard and North Charleston on Rivers Avenue.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.